If you've never shopped at the Restore before, they have a lot of old building supplies like light fixtures, furniture, cabinetry, tile, and they're at really affordable prices. So I love to go here and see what items I can find to DIY and add them to my home. We've walked around the entire Restore and there's not too many items here, but one item they always have is a bunch of tiles. I have several ideas that I'm excited to try. I found these tiles. Now, typically you would see these on your backsplash in your kitchen or your bathroom. We're gonna get 2 of these for a DIY. Now I bought several tiles. This first tile was a multi-tile and they ended up being a little bit more expensive. These tiles were $6 each. So I bought 2 for this vase project. One tile wasn't long enough to create a vase, so I knew that I needed to add 2 tiles together. So to do this, I was kind of going back and forth on how to connect these 2 tiles. I had this product called pull wrap and they sell it at most big box stores, but what this product does is it bends, and I thought maybe that would help it curve around the base that I want to do. So I E6000 the pull wrap to the 2 tiles to connect them. Then I put a ton of E6000 on the back of the tiles. And I wrapped it around my glass vase. To hold it until it had a chance to dry, I wrapped it with some painter's tape. One of my tiles fell off that was connected to the pull wrap, so I did E6000 that tile back on, and then I wrapped it with some additional painter's tape and let it dry overnight. Now, when I was at the Restore, I found some grout for $5. That's what I'm gonna put in between the tiles. So I just mixed my grout with some water in a bowl till it was more of a kind of thick pudding consistency. So I used this large popsicle stick to put the grout in between the tiles. I wanted to push as much grout in between the tiles without getting it all over my tiles because I knew I was going to have to wipe away the excess. Once I had that in-between area covered, I came back in and tried to remove as much of the grout as possible. Then I used a wet paper towel and a wet microfiber towel to pull off any excess grout. Once you have all of the grout removed from your tiles, you want to let this set again overnight so that it can dry completely. Now the next day, if you need to add more grout, you can. I felt like my vase looked pretty good. And then you can just add in some of your favorite florals. These are florals that I picked up at Pop Shelf. I love how they look in this vase. It's so cute. I love having it out. I've been seeing this dark furniture all over Pottery Barn's site, as well as some of the high-end stores. Take a look at this tile. I love the brown colors. This is very in this year, and it's huge. I'm gonna turn this into a table. I've been walking around looking for some legs to create a table with. Now I spotted these and we looked them up online. They're actually a wood replacement handle for a tool. They're $5 each, so we're gonna pick these up as leg bases. I measured one of my other side tables to see about how tall it was, so I knew kind of the height to make the legs. I marked each of the legs where I wanted to cut them down. Then I used my miter saw to cut the legs down to size. Now from there, I wanted to sand them down because I was going to restain them, so I just used my orbital sander and sanded down all 4 of the legs. I also needed a wood piece to act kind of as a tabletop. So for my tabletop, in one of my previous projects, we did a whole butcher block countertop for a desk and 2 shelves in my office makeover. And we had to cut off the back half of that. So I have a bunch of scrap butcher block, and I thought that would be perfect for this project, and it's amazing wood. But you could use any wood that you have on hand or get some scrap wood at the Restore. So I cut my wood down to size. I wanted it to be about an inch shorter than this really cool brown tile that I found when I was shopping at the Restore. And the tile is actually what's going to go on the top of this table. Next, I need to attach my legs to that butcher block top. So to do this, I'm gonna be using these cabinet screws. They are a little bit longer. You can pick them up at any big box stores. So I'm gonna mark where I want to drill holes in the 4 corners of my butcher block. I'm also going to drill a hole in the center of my legs. Then using the cabinet screws, I'm gonna screw it down from the top and then making sure that I screw the legs underneath. Now the screws you will be able to see on the top of the butcher block, but don't worry because we're going to cover it with the tile. I'm gonna do this on all 4 corners. Now before I added on the tile, I wanted to stain the wood pieces. So I'm just gonna be using this natural stain color because I really like the light wood look. So I'm just going to be placing the stain on with a paper towel and at the same time removing any excess. Now for the tile to get it ready, I wanted to paint the edges because the edges of tiles are unfinished. So I had this espresso brown color and I'm just gonna use a foam brush and paint it all around the edge, and I'll let that dry. Once that dried, I added some E6000 to the top of the butcher block and then placed the tile on. I let it dry overnight, and here's how it looks in my home. Hey guys, I'm Liz and you're watching my second DIY channel where I post daily DIY videos. You may be familiar with my main channel, Liz Fenwick DIY, but I'm glad that you found me over here on my second channel. Make sure that you're subscribed so you just get notified every day when I post our daily DIY video.